Jeff Kennedy, hello.
Hey, Joey. Joey Little. Joe Little. Yeah.
That's me. Welcome to Friedberg Comes Alive, the show about Friedberg, North Carolina, a village community in northern Davidson County, southern Forsyth County. We grew up in Friedberg Estates, which was not
Right.
too much older than you are. How old were you when you moved there or were born there?
We moved to Friedberg in 1969, Friedberg Estates in 1969 when I was four.
How
And then,
close were you to the kids, the two brothers that lived in my house before I moved there?
oh, Brian and Brad Brinkley, pretty good. Yeah, we were good friends. Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
but you don't keep in touch with them at all, do you?
A little bit on Facebook. I see Brad runs a racing business in Davidson County. So, and I haven't really touched base with Brian much, but I see Brad on Facebook a little bit. Yeah, so Brian and Brad's dad was a fireman, and they got a divorce. But I remember as a kid, we would run out in the woods around Friedberg Estates, and of course, no one had that much money back then, so we'd go out there and find a Christmas tree or something pretty close to one and cut it down and bring it back. So I remember doing that with Brian and Brad's dad and Brian and Brad. Yeah.
And you would go, this is an odd question. You would go east of their house or north of their house or west of their house.
West and the Snyders. Yeah, the Snyders farm there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how close were you to Todd Gower? You were very close or fairly close?
Yeah, very, very close. Yeah,
Yeah. Who, who
very
was
close.
who was your best friend in Friedberg Estates?
Well, it kind of went Todd, of course, but Daryl Edwards, and we hung out with Daryl a lot. Daryl had a motorcycle, so that was fun to. He let us ride that thing once in a while.
Did you have a
Yeah,
motorcycle ever when you were growing up?
I did. I got one when I was eighth grade, but I had a mini bike before that, and Todd had a go kart and a couple mini bikes. So there was always something going on around the neighborhood with some type of vehicle or recreational mini bike or something.
I was never particularly cozy with motorcycles, but once or twice or three times I rode his motorcycle east of his house behind his backyard in the farm
Yeah.
area, and they had a little track or just wherever they would go.
Hmm.
Uh, you were also friends. We were also friends. Naming names. Mark Draper.
Oh yeah, Mark. Yep.
Dale Kearney lived where compared to your house?
He was up the hill on Judy Lane. He was actually in Davidson County, but he got like some type of grandfathered thing to go to Parkland instead of North Davidson. I mean, seriously, he was only like 400 or 500 feet inside of Davidson County.
I know
Yeah,
it in the bottom area where the creek is, such as it
right,
is, was the dividing line. Is the dividing line, isn't it, between
right. It was
Davidson
close to that. Yeah.
County? Say that again.
Hmm. It was pretty close to that. Yeah, I think there's a couple property lines there, but yeah, that's what everyone kind of decided to be. Mark Draper, he lived on the top, and we used to play football with him, and because that was Daryl's cousin,
In your
Daryl
yard.
Edwards.
In your yard. We
Yeah,
would
in his
play.
backyard, because we played King of the Hill on that hill right there next to Freeburg Road. But Mark passed away. He had cancer, so he passed away a few years back. Yeah.
I know.
Yep.
It's even though we didn't keep in touch, you hate to hear of the passings because you can't do this with them. You
Right.
can't connect. You can't say hello.
Hmm. But
But
Dale and I played baseball and football together. We're classmates at Parkland, and he dated Tracy Gower, for a while.
and you played South Little League baseball, didn't you?
Yeah, sure
And
did.
did you and I? Do you remember playing me? I can't remember. Maybe I can remember playing against you. Do you remember playing against me at all?
Yeah, I believe so. I played with Dale Kearney's dad Hugh for a year. Yeah, I played with them on their same team, and then when I was seventh grade, I ended up playing for Mr. Pass for the Cubs, and we actually were really good for a couple years, and won the championship twice. Yeah,
What was your position?
I played second base and shortstop, and my eighth grade year, we really had a really good team. I had Mike McCoon and some other folks there from Wilshire, and we really kicked it. I don't think we lost like one game all year. Won the playoff, and it was a lot of fun.
What year did you stop playing Little League baseball?
Ninth grade, yeah, and then I got into when I got to Park or Anderson, ninth and 10th grade. I started kind of enjoying more of the JROTC stuff, and they were doing field trips, and that led to my Navy career and a scholarship at North Carolina and so forth.
Who is your best friend still from from Friedberg?
Probably say Todd.
Yeah.
Yeah, I keep up with Todd a lot. Yeah.
And Todd lives in North Carolina. Where does Todd live?
Todd lives in North Davidson, kind of near Welcome, just
Okay.
outside of Welcome. And he went to Appalachian State, and he married Dolores, which Dolores Hamilton, her maiden name was our preacher's daughter at Conneaut Baptist.
Did you ever once or twice or five times for a chicken dinner or any reason go to visit Friedberg Church, Friedberg Moravian Church?
Yeah, we did that. I mean, we weren't members there, but we take our bikes up there, ride our bikes, and go into the cemetery and look around and see some of these really old gravestones, like 1700s. Yeah, it was pretty remarkable. And what's her name? Davenport. The Davenport kid, the Davenports, which was right across basic catty corner from Daryl.
Mm-hmm.
Their son passed away, and so he's buried there.
Yeah. Yeah, Dawn Davenport still lives there. My mom still lives there. Your brother Taylor still lives there.
Yeah.
So we still have ties to that area. Growing up, did you ever do any, not hunting, but yeah, did you ever do any hunting there?
No, not really. But you remember, like we had a little campsite back behind your house that one time. We built that little cabin, and I believe it. Kathy Edwards and your sister kind of were trying to like invade us or whatever. We were only like 12 or 13, but remember that cornfield? But that cornfield back there was a lot of fun. Remember, we would go back there and like play football in the cornfield and like knock all the corn stalks down.
Well, my fondest memory growing up in that area, well, one memory I have, my main and singularly with you is, and I don't think you remember this last time I mentioned it, is you and I, Halloween one year, we rolled Pat the Dennis's.
Oh yeah,
and
Pam Dennis, yeah, Pam and
Mr.
Jay
Dennis is or was a police officer, and you don't usually roll the tree with toilet paper of a police officer. It's not.
Yeah, I kind of vaguely remember that, and then he came out. Well, oh man, yeah.
See, you don't vaguely remember the fact that immediately after you said, "I don't think we should have done that," and I said, "No, come on, let's go, Jeff." And you said, "No, I'm having second thoughts." And I said, "What are you talking about, Jeff? You're standing here. We're going to get caught. What are you doing?" "I'm going to go back up in the tree, Joey, and take the toilet paper down." It was the most far-fetched thing I had ever heard of. It's still one of the top 7 things I've ever experienced in my life. And I said to myself, I'll remember this when I'm 59. And you don't remember that, do you? Come on.
I kind of remember it, yeah, because they were my next door neighbors. So you lived a few houses away, so you wouldn't be in the crossfire of Mr. Dennis, Phil Dennis's wrath, because I live right next to him. I'm like, I better not. This is not good. So we took it down.
He never knew about that, did he?
I believe he did. At that time, it was kind of a little badge of honor. You were actually thought of enough that someone come roll your house.
And then think better of it and take the toilet paper down out of the tree.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. The next day, like, hey, let me help you out. I don't know who did this, but I was the hero. I actually helped instigate it. Then I was the hero at the end.
Did you ever go north through the landscape to the creek, to Muddy? I think it's called Muddy Creek.
Yeah, we used to go there once in a while. The Snyders had that pond down there, and we'd fish at that a little bit. And they had that old farmhouse. Remember? We'd get in there. It was an abandoned farmhouse. We thought it was haunted. And what's his name? Snyder, Billy. I think it was Billy Snyder. He caught us down there fishing a couple times with Wolfman Jack. Remember Wolfman Jack? Wolfman Jack was right across the Friedberg Road from the Snyders, on the south side of Friedberg Road. Remember, he walked everywhere because I guess he got his driving privileges permanently revoked for, I guess, drinking or something. And but he was a kind of a badass, and he walked everywhere. He still live, and Taylor still sees him once in a while and gives him rides up and down, the grocery store and stuff. But we were down there, and Wolfman Jack was with us because he's like, "Hey man, let's go." And I was like maybe 8, 9, 10 years old. Let's go fishing. I'm like, okay. So we went down there, and here comes Billy Snyder, man. He was in a huff, and he's like, "You boys better quit fishing." All of a sudden, here comes Wolfman Jack. He's about at that time maybe 20, 18, 19, 20, and he's like, "Boy, Billy, you better shut your damn mouth. I'll kick your ass." And they almost got in a fight. I mean, because they hated each other, I guess. But anyway, I don't know. I think Billy Snyder's passed now, but we used to go down there to the pond quite a bit, and then just make our way north to Muddy Creek. Maybe had a bridge there.
Most of our friends are going to necessarily be guys, boys. I want to name some names, girls, and these are all, of course, pretty girls. Denise Chenard, Tracy Gower, your sister Sheila, Tracy, Leo's sister, Tracy, Leo's.
No, I mean Todd and Tracy
sister.
Gower. That's Tracy Gower. Yeah.
Tracy Gower. What was the girl? I can't remember. I don't even know her name. That lived just north of you. Just north.
Oh, DeVay Tharp.
I don't think so. Didn't DeVay Tharp live south of you?
No, she lived kind of south. She was catty corner to us across the street. You mean the Breedloves? The Breedloves lived there. They were across from us, and then of course Kathy and your sister.
They lived just north of the Gowers.
Oh, the Hoods.
And what was her name?
Yeah. Is it Victoria? What was her? I can't remember. Yeah, they had 3 girls there, but they never really kind of showed up much.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Kathy.
Oh, and you had the Cantrells. The Cantrells, remember them? Just on the north side of Judy Lane down there, they had a swimming pool. They always they were the only one in the neighborhood that swimming pool. So they'd invite us over to go swimming once in a while.
I don't know that I ever went. Maybe I went once. Kathy Edwards, Sherry Pope, Debbie Pope. What was Debbie Pope and Sherry Pope's sister? At any rate, Jeff Kennedy, you've been a wonderful guest, first guest.
Hey, how's your sister doing? I hadn't talked to her in a while.
My sister Janet, she lives in Longmont, Colorado.
Oh wow,
she's doing great, and she has two daughters that we know of, and I have 3 youngins that we know of. How many youngins you have that you know of?
I have 3 boys. Matt's 23, works at the Cowboys now, and identical twins, Gavin and Logan, that are heading off to the University of Texas here, or Texas Tech. Yeah, they finished up their general college working in that way. But hey, I had a quick story about Kathy. So Kathy and I, and Sheila and Denise, we all went to North Carolina together, Chapel Hill, and it happened to be me and Kathy.
As did I.
That's right, but I never saw you, man. Where were you?
I was a junior transfer from UNC Charlotte, so I was never quite in the mix like you all were.
Yeah. I think once in a while, man, I may have ran across you or something.
And Janet went there as well. Janet went there as well.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because Janet and Kathy actually visited me and Brad Thomas. You remember Brad Thomas from Parkland? He was my best friend. He's one of my best friends, and we were roommates. And they came by the fraternity house one time. I was a SIG up there. But Kathy and I were in astronomy together. And Sheila, we're in the same class together, astronomy at UNC. And we had a late night lab. And I think Kathy was my lab partner, right? For some reason. I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool, And so she's like, that was at night because it was, astronomy. We get in the telescopes and look at the stars and stuff. And she's like, I'll just see you at I'm like, the hell you will, man. I'm going to go pick you up because I don't want you walking in the middle of the night to the astronomy lab. So that was pretty cool to kind of get caught up with her and, and it was neat. But yeah, I do remember Janet and Kathy come and visit one time and hung out, and we had a couple beers together, I think. But, yeah.
Jeff, that's why you're the best, and that's why we forget the rest. You've been a wonderful first guest on Friedberg Comes Alive. Thank you for helping Friedberg come alive in memory, and we have the present tense and future. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thanks, Joey.